Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to review another Summit the Langrisser Season 6 match in the round of 16. This one is between Aerinoa and Onasi. So I've covered a previous battle of Onasi's. I think it was his top 64 match. Can't quite recall. Might have been a top 32 match, one or the other. But yeah, I've covered one of his battles in the past, and as for Aerinoa, haven't covered the Aerinoa's battles yet. So Onasi's box does have some AoE attackers like Kruger and Hobo, but mostly the rest are single target oriented. I mean, to be fair, Ares can AoE, Lucretia can AoE, Helena can AoE, and Bernhard can kind of AoE, but you know, Lolly-Jess, SP Cherie, and Keira are kind of single target oriented characters. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. I mean, I mentioned before, I'm not a fan of hybrid kind of boxes, but and Onasi kind of runs that. By comparison, Aerinoa's box is basically single target oriented, which is kind of what I like, right? You either run full kind of AoE-ish or full single target. And Aerinoa's is basically fully single target. Of course, there's characters who can still AoE. Once again, Bernhard, Helena, Ares, Lucretia, right? But pretty much everyone is a dedicated single target character. I mean, the only exception you can say would be Licorice being there. Licorice would be kind of an AoE attacker. But keep in mind nowadays, Licorice is very frequently used as a healer instead. Right? Due to her new exclusive, reducing the cooldown of her skills by 1, it means she can endlessly cast Mass Seal and so on and so forth. So you can kind of say Aerinoa's box actually has 4 healers. Right? Liana, Florentia, Rosensteel, and Licorice. And of course, Licorice can faction buff up Keira too, which is another nice advantage of bringing her. Alright, let's see how the pick ban goes. So Hilda first ban, okay? And then SP Cherie first ban. Then Lucretia is first picked. Now, quick notes. I actually, looking at Onasi's box with Werner here and so on, I actually feel like if Onasi had Luna there to do a princess buff, it might be more useful. In the sense that the princess buff would also act as a nice mobility buff for the characters. Just a thought there. I mean, it's not like Werner's a bad character. I mean, I use Werner too, don't get me wrong, and I do think Werner is strong. I'm just saying, if you first pick Lucretia or first pick SP Cherie, you can combo that with a second pick Luna, which might be a better option, because that mobility buff would help everyone right away. Anyways, went a little bit off topic there. So, SP Cherie, Helena ban, Lucretia for both sides. Okay. Florentia, Helena ban. Kruger. Why? Okay, we'll see. Maybe he's going for an AoE team. Bernhard and Hobo are banned. And those are the 2 AoE attackers and the faction buffers for these 2 characters. Right? Bernhard would faction buff up Lucretia, Hobo would faction buff up Kruger. That eliminates so many of Onasi's options at this point. Alright, continue on. Hilda for Aerinoa. So, Rosalie and SP Elwin. Werner. Okay. I'm already not liking where Onasi's going with this. Anyways. Keira in Ares ban. Juggler for Aerinoa. Alright. Lolly-Jess, Ares are gone. Lolly-Jess for Onasi. Right. Juggler and Rosensteel ban. Bernhard for Aerinoa, and Onasi is left with an Act Again character. Right. So Aerinoa loses Keira and Rosensteel, and has a choice between Liana and Licorice. I would probably pick Liana here, right, for an Act Again, but we'll see. And then Onasi will pick Liana over Florentia, fine. Either one doesn't really matter in that situation. And Aerinoa should probably Liana. Licorice! I don't get it. I actually don't get this pick. the reason I don't get this pick is because Bernhard has a faction buff, and Bernhard's faction buff will buff up Hilda and Lucretia, right? Licorice needs to get buffed by Hilda, or else bring a faction buff herself, and that's kind of awkward, right? Whereas Liena could be brought, and she would have Gospel if she wants. She could bring Summon Sky Archers to dispel debuffs, and she can act again. So I actually don't understand that last pick, but okay. And let's see. Let's check the skills a bit. So Bernhard has the Hoplite Soldiers. Okay. Side note, that would protect Bernhard from Werner, right? All cavalry. Hilda has her faction buff in Crimson Command and Ram. Okay. Licorice is not faction buffed. She's bringing Mass Protect, Mass Resist, Mass Seal. So even less understanding of this pick for Licorice now. 2 AoEs in the Dark Reaper on Lucretia. And Juggler has Triton, Sacred Beast, and Beast Shock. Okay. Interesting. Not choosing to bring the 3C. Now that's another interesting thing to start off with. So Lucretia started off with Mass Attack here. I don't particularly like that because I would have moved my characters first, then Mass Attack them to make it last a bit longer. But yeah, anyways. Liena here also has Summon Sky Archer, which is also a little bit confusing in my opinion. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because of Lucretia's Psychic Corruption. Right? Psychic Corruption can apply, cannot receive healing, and cannot receive buffs. So having the Summon Sky Archer can remove that. But anyways, let's continue. I'm actually a little bit confused at why Onasi didn't bring Psychic Corruption on Lucretia. If anything, I would have thought you would bring Psychic Corruption, Mass Attack, and Dark Reaper rather than Impure Shockwave. And I would have thought this Lucretia would have brought Impure Shockwave by comparison. But anyways, some interesting skill selections. None of it is kind of what I would expect. Werner triggering some mobility buffs and speed stancing up. I don't particularly like how the choices of units for Onasi, but I feel this is going to kind of come down to how the act again is used. Alright, so Kruger starts right off. Launches at an AoE. No debuffs onto Bernhard. Juggler actually got a cannot receive buffs effect, which is usually very crippling for him, but Licorice can remove that, so it's not really a big issue. Oh wait, somehow I missed this, but yeah, so Hilda has her faction buff, so Licorice is buffed anyways, after all. Shift positions. Lucretia launches a range attack. Now, I don't particularly understand that move. Why would you try to Dark Reaper a full hit point with Life Ward Kruger? You're not going to get any you're not going to wipe out these sorceresses, right? And get damage into Kruger. So you might as well save your skill. You might as well just move down and attack at 4 range and just get the damage into Kruger if you were going to do that. At least that's my thought. Oh well. But regardless, it was used. And Werner jumps in and takes down Lucretia's first life very easily and retreats back. Now, the very interesting thing there, in my opinion, is the reason Werner could attack like that was because Lucretia's not even guarded by anyone. Hilda set up here, not in a position to guard Lucretia. So that was like a free strike. There's nobody guarding Lucretia. That was basically it. Mass heal. That doesn't restore Lucretia to full health. Okay. And Lolly just attacks and kills and dies. Hold on. Wait. Why did that happen? Why did Lolly just die there? Need to check something. Let's go back. Okay. So, Glory of the World is on Lucretia. I see why. Glory of the World will heal 10% health on Lucretia. That will restore the sorceress to full hit points. And with the sorceress at full hit points, and Light of Genesis not having any extra magic defense because there's no faction buff on her, she only has plus 20% int. So she is taking a lot more damage than she should due to the lack of faction buff. And Lucretia is outputting maximum damage despite not being at full health because the sorceresses are. So Glory of the World was absolutely clutch here. I'm just going to slow this one down just to show. So, tiny bit of fixed damage. Health restoration from Glory of the World. Full hit points on the sorceresses. And they both die because they're both in range of each other. Because it was a 4 range attack against a 4 range attack. Okay. So if Onasi had a Scepter of Divinity to make this a 5 range attack, Light of Genesis would have won. But this is not a Scepter Light of Genesis for whatever reason. So it had to move to 4 range. And that got her killed. No, it is. What? Oh no. She didn't have 4 stacks. That was why. Sorry. It is a Scepter, Lollygess, but because it didn't have 4 stacks, it had to move into range, and they were trading attacks as a result. And so, Lollygess died. A lot of reasons coming into play here. Alright, fair enough. So then, Bernhard just charges forth, takes out another character, down goes Kruger. Effectively, this started off as a trade of Lollygess for Lucretia, and then now Kruger dies to Bernhard. So it is 4 against 3 at this point. Act Again is now used. I don't see this making a difference. It should already be over. Juggler Jump. AoE damage. Lucretia lost too much life to one-shot anyone at this point. And why? I didn't understand that either. Okay, so just now Lucretia used her Impure Shockwave to hit a juggler that's at full hit points, that has last rate and so on. Again, you're not going to kill, so why waste the skill? I would have just Freeze Strike there and kept Impure Shockwave for maybe potential use here, right? So Impure Shockwave could be used to hit Licorice here, because Licorice is not guarded due to having used healing. So I would have Impure Shockwave Licorice and hoped for a kill. So that completely failed for various reasons. I mean, there is the problem is, first of all, Lucretia no longer has a mass attack buff. There is no attack buff on Lucretia, so that's one issue. Second of all, you're hitting against a Licorice that has these bishops that have very high magic defense, or decent magic defense, and they also get plus 30% defense. So without being able to reduce their stats, which is what Impure Shockwave does, you're not going to get a kill. For sure. So yeah, this is completely over. There's not much you can do. Yeah, Bernhard comes in, takes down Liana. 4 on 2. Yeah, game over. So let's move on to the second battle. So no party changes. Hilda ban once again. Stick with what works. SP Cherie ban. Okay. Onasi plays SP Shuri to start. Alright, loses Lucretia and Ares this time. And Aerinoa is starting with Lucretia once again. So Onasi's changing it up. Aerinoa won the first match, sticking with the same strategy so far. Onasi, learning from the previous battle, bans Hilda and Bernhard here. Okay. And plays Helena. Loses Kayura and Lolijess. And Aerinoa plays Juggler. I don't agree with a second pick Helena at all. I don't understand it. I really don't. Right? Helena can't break through, like, you, especially when you leave Juggler. Is what I mean. Because Juggler would heal all of that kind of AoE damage and whatnot. Right? So, okay. So, Lolijess, Helena ban, plays Bernhard now. Juggler, Florentia, SP Elwin. Okay, long legs, fine. Rosenseal, Rosalia ban, Hobo. And then Werner and Rosenseal are banned. And he plays a 4th pick Kayura. Oh, that's bad news for Onasi. And then Liana and Florentia are banned, removing the Act Against. Onasi will play Liana, of course, and then Aerinoa will probably play Licorice here. Because Licorice can Dark Faction buff and provide healing. Yep. So this is really bad news for Onasi, the Kayura, right, with a faction buff. I'm not sure I understood the SP Elwin per se. I mean, it's a long-range threat and everything, so maybe that's why. There could have been other options for other than SP Elwin, I feel. But regardless, alright. At the very least, SP Elwin is not a bad choice for Aerinoa, especially given what Onasi is playing. Yeah, so Bernhard forced to bring Lava Titans to protect against SP Elwin being cavalry class. 3 single target strikes on Lucretia once again. Juggler is as is. Kayura has the 2 single target strikes and the teleport back. And Licorice is, yes, mass heal, mass protect, Force of Darkness. So I really don't like what Onasi's been left with. Once again, he's forced to bring 1 AoE attacker. And then single target striker, and single target striker. It kind of means the AoE attacker is doing nothing, effectively, right? So, but we'll see how it plays out. Being player 1, so Liana has Gospel, which can buff up Shuri. Okay, Shuri is not bringing an assassin skill, just Holy Thunder and Raging Storm. Interesting. Bernhard is bringing a guard skill, I guess, to protect against SP Elwin, right? To act as the tank. Okay, well, in any case, let's see how this goes. Oh, one last thing to check. What is Kayura's star level? Five stars, 16%. Okay. So Hobo is brought 2 of the AoE skills, and it makes sense because Hobo would only faction buff himself here. Doesn't particularly need it per se. It would be different if he faction buff at least one other character, but Bernhard wants to faction buff himself and buff up Helena. SP Shuri is getting the Gospel effect, so yeah. I can see why he wants to lay down terrain effects, especially facing both Juggler and SP Elwin. But again, it's going to be difficult for him with the Kayura as well. Now, there are a lot of soldiers that do block Kayura, right? You know, the Crystal Warlocks are very tanky. The Angels protect against magic, so 45% magic damage reduction. So all 3 of these are basically unkillable by Kayura. But Kayura can take down Bernhard, right? Low magic defense values. So, okay. Oh! And then Kayura got a breeze buff here. Okay. Faction buff. Kira has 4 range, so Bernhard hanging that far back would mean Kira moves here, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now it's out of range of Kira. Or not. Big mistake. Okay, fatal mistake here. So Kira can move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, kill, and then retreat. And teleport back, right? Now it is interesting because if Kira does that, Shuri can probably counter kill. Like, attack, kill, and then act again and do something. Okay, Onasi does an act again on Helena. Bernhard is killed. Okay, fair. And then Helena can either kill Kayura or kill Elwin. Oh, this is bad. Actually, this act again is not good. It's actually really bad because Aerinoa will act first after this. So Aerinoa can retreat Kayura. Well, in any case, so Helena will have a choice to either attack Kayura or Elwin. Elwin has 925 defense, okay? I would probably have to kill Elwin here, right? Because otherwise Elwin would get to front Reign of Glory and Sword Soul. So, yep, that's what he's going for. Chivalry, act again, strike, and fail! Oh, that's bad. So we saw the defender's armor trigger just now, and that's the cause of the failure. Actually, 2 factors. First, having that 925 defense. Second, being on Forest for an extra 20% defense. And third, having the armor trigger. So, just bad luck there. The armor trigger, especially. Let's play that again, because that armor trigger, the forbidden armor, is what kept him alive. If SP Elwin was not on Forest, would have died. Okay. Because at 4% hit points, yeah, the 20% defense would have that would have been the difference on this hit points. But the combination of being on Forest with the defender's armor triggering kept Elwin alive. Interesting. Alright, so Kira retreats to survive and attacks. Okay. Yep, and heals up. So he would rather keep Kira alive than SP Elwin. That was basically it. That was really the choice, right? It was either have Kira retreat or have SP Elwin wrap around and maybe strike Helena. No, wrapping around would have been that. No, this was the best choice, looking at it now. Because if he had wrapped around, then Shuri would have come up, killed off Kira, then moved further and probably killed off Elwin. Because kill one, act again, strike the other, get the kill because it's not guarded by Juggler. And it's in range of the others. So okay, this was probably the best move. Save Kayura, lose Elwin. And then Helena will get the finish here. Defender's armor trigger. What? Oh, you gotta be joking. Elwin survived that one because of a second defender's armor trigger. Now, as long as Helena kills Elwin, the AoE damage from Petal Storm would get the second life. But Elwin lived through that second strike as well. Oh my. Because of a second defender's armor trigger. 250 hit points. So that really means what? You need 250 hit points. If you divide that by 20, that's how much attack you need, more or less, right? So if Helena had like 13 more attack, Elwin was dead. So basically kind of failed the stat check, if you will, for the second strike. But also bad luck. Wow. Wow. This is over. So the end result here is Aerinoa didn't lose anyone. Onasi has already lost 2 characters, or will lose 2 characters, because Helena is so far ahead of everyone else, she's dead. Is there any point in watching the rest of this? Oh, not really. I'll watch it, but it's over. Totally over. Right, yeah. Juggler B-Shock. Bam, Helena dies. Mass heal to restore health. Hobo lays down some terrain effects. There's only one attacker for Onasi, which is Shuri. I guess, and Shuri can't ignore guard. So I guess Shuri needs a breeze activation to maybe get in range and attack twice. I'm not sure what he can do here though. Like, you can't kill Langrisser, you can't kill Elwin. Well, you can kill Elwin if you're willing to use both attacks on it, right? Juggler, I mean, the only thing he can do is Shuri strikes and stuns Juggler, then get 1 kill. But then right after that, Shuri will die. I don't know. But yeah, it's over. 5 against 3. So no breeze trigger on Shuri. So she can't get into range to attack anyone. Side note, even if she had triggered breeze, she still can't attack anyone. It would be too much additional movement. That's here. Right? And then Aerinoa would have placed Elwin somewhere else. So yeah, Aerinoa is just being careful now, making sure the win, making sure to grab the win. Right. Oh, Kira goes in, teleports back to Juggler guard range. Ooh. Quick comment. I really don't like that action, but it's because he was hovering so far back, right? That was really the only tile he could move into with Langrisser. You weren't gonna move up, I don't think, with Langrisser. So when you did that swapping, because the swap position of the Arcane Golem was into poison, it died. Right? So that's what we just saw. So once again, no breeze trigger for Shuri, as a side note. But yeah, Kira attacks first from safety. Langrisser shifts positions to attack. So it's kind of a suicide attack then. Doesn't kill anyone, it stays at full hit points. But Langrisser's going to die. So there's the first attack. Dead Langrisser. Act again on Shuri. Strikes SP Elwin and fails to kill. But stuns him. But Liana dies. Kira teleports back. You know, it's totally over. Sacred Beast him jump. Four against 2. Just when Onasi retreats, basically. But yeah, overall, I would say Aerinoa did very, very good pick bans. In every game, he forced Aerinoa to have, at least one AoE attacker, and then have a bunch of single targets after that, so that the AoE does not do anything. Also, the other things about this was the Glory of the World healing up Langrisser so much was pretty clutch. And finally, it was interesting seeing SP Elwin survive Helena like that. Such a situational occurrence. It had to have a very, very good enchant to get that high defense and trigger the armor, the forbidden armor, and also being on forest. But yeah, so some interesting things in this match, although it was a clear win for Aerinoa. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nitro out.